The question of the pupil. You have suggested that as a general rule, in terms of the tempo of our psychology, which you say is different for different people, in terms of the tempo of our psychology, the speed at which we work psychologically, the slower, in general, the tempo, the more profound. And yet this seems to contradict Gurdjieff's ideas as expressed to Ouspensky, whereby it is the faster vibrations that are in fact considered the more intelligent. Isn't there a contradiction here in what you say, or between what you say and what Gurdjieff has said to Ouspensky? The teacher replies, it is very easy, and this happens in the Gurdjieff tradition, coming from Ouspensky, to confuse ideas about speed, tempo, rhythm, which are so important in our psychology and our understanding of our own psychology. It is very easy in the Gurdjieff tradition to confuse this with the idea of vibrations. Speed of vibrations, and in fact what Gurdjieff says to Ouspensky, density of vibrations. These are two completely different things. And I have found even in teachers in the Gurdjieff tradition, these are confused. Or at least they are not distinguished between. There is no sense in the Gurdjieff tradition of a difference between, for example, the tempo or speed, the rhythm of our psychology, and ideas about vibrations. These are completely different things. Now, Gurdjieff's teaching is about vibrations, because it is what we might call Pythagorean. Now, Pythagoras is reported to have had a device, a monochord, which is essentially a guitar string. It is a string secured at both ends and under tension, and it plays a note. If you half the string, as you can do in a guitar, on a guitar, then you get the same note, in a sense, an octave higher. And so Gurdjieff's teaching to Ouspensky is about the octave. And this is from Pythagoras. Where Pythagoras got it, we don't know. Where Gurdjieff got it, we don't know. And Gurdjieff speaks of this as the law of the octave, and in his book The Tales of Beelzebub to his grandson, this becomes the law, the cosmic law, a fundamental cosmic law, hepta parapashinok. However, this is dealing with an idea, a concept of vibrations. And the speed of the vibrations, the number of vibrations, the density of vibrations is to do with the octave, and which particular aspect of the octave, which note, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, which of these notes sounds. However, this has nothing to do with our psychology, in the sense of, as we experience it, as we understand it, in the sense of a rhythm, a tempo, a speed. These come from the pendulum, which is a string fixed at one end, completely different. It does not obey the same laws. It does not obey the fundamental laws of the universe. It's completely different. And the pendulum, of course, has a length and a bob backwards and forwards, a rhythm, a tempo, which depends absolutely upon that length. So the pendulum is the secret that all scientists have been looking for. It connects space and time. It has a length, space, a metric, as we would say in mathematics, and it has a bob backwards and forwards which depends upon that length. Absolutely. Which is the speed, time. So it is a connection between space and time. Now, of course, every schoolboy who discovers this, eureka moment, his mother shouts from the kitchen, "It's a gravity device," because it depends upon gravity. If we took a pendulum to the moon, for example, the length of that pendulum would give a completely different time, different bob backwards and forwards. Time would change for the same speed. It depends upon gravity. But if we take a relatively stable situation such as that on the Earth, as we live in it, we regard as a fixed gravity. There's no evidence that it is, but we regard it in terms of our time frames as a fixed gravity. Then the pendulum is a space-time connection. It defines entirely the connection between space and time, and has nothing to do with the law of the octave, which is a string fixed at both ends and under tension. So these are two different things. One deals with vibrations. Pythagoras, it's a monochord, it's a guitar string, it's fixed at both ends. It's under tension and sounds according to the laws of the octave. A pendulum, completely different, fixed only at one end, deals with time, tempo, rhythm. And these are the things that register in terms of our life, our psychological experience, our activities. So it's important not to confuse these two situations. Not to imagine that Gurdjieff in his book All and Everything is writing about all and everything. Because he's not. What he's writing about only refers to laws of vibration. The monochord, the guitar string fixed at both ends and under tension, and operating according to what he describes, Gurdjieff describes, as the law of the octave. This is not all and everything, and it is a mistake to assume that it is.